For this hearing, you're not going to be questioned about facts and circumstances surrounding your charges. You are currently charged with, and you'll be provided with copies of the warrants if you don't already have them. You're currently charged with 2 counts of felony murder in the second degree. You're charged with 4 counts of felony involuntary manslaughter. You're charged with 8 counts of felony cruelty to children in the second degree. Now, for these offenses, for the felony murder counts in the second degree, felony murder in the second degree, the maximum penalty for each count is up to 30 years imprisonment. For felony involuntary manslaughter, of course, again, there are 4 counts. The maximum penalty for each of those offenses is 10 years imprisonment. For the 8 felony cruelty to children counts, the maximum penalty under the law for each of those 8 counts is 10 years imprisonment, for a maximum total possible penalty for the charges that you currently are facing of 180 years imprisonment.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Dark Files Diary. Today, we're diving into a deeply heartbreaking and tragic event that unfolded in September 2024 at Apalachee High School in Winder, Georgia. This incident has shocked the local community and the nation. We're going to walk you through the details of what happened, how the events unfolded, and the devastating aftermath that has left families and a school reeling. Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and stay tuned as we unravel this tragic story. On the morning of September 4th, 2024, at around 10:20 a.m., a sense of normalcy turned into chaos at Apalachee High School. It was a day like any other, with students heading to classes, teachers preparing lessons, and the hum of everyday school life. But just moments later, a devastating attack would rip through the campus and leave a lasting scar on the community. At the center of it all was a 14-year-old boy named Colt Gray. What makes this story even more chilling is that there were warning signs, online threats made by Colt a year prior, but unfortunately, those warnings weren't acted upon. The shooting unfolds. At 10:20 a.m., Colt Gray walked into Apalachee High School armed with an AR-style weapon. The scene that followed was pure terror. Gray opened fire, targeting students and teachers. 2 students and 2 teachers were killed in the attack, and at least 9 others were injured. It was a scene no one should ever have to witness. Police were on the scene within minutes, thanks to 2 school resource officers already stationed at the high school. They confronted Colt shortly after the attack began, and to everyone's surprise, he immediately surrendered without further incident. It's hard to comprehend how such a young individual could carry out such a horrendous act. But the chilling details leading up to the attack offer some clues. In May of 2023, the FBI received several anonymous tips about online threats. Colt had been posting disturbing images and making vague threats about committing violence. But at the time, it wasn't clear when or where it would happen. After interviewing Colt and his father, who admitted to having guns at home but claimed Colt didn't have access, law enforcement decided there wasn't enough evidence to take action. Looking back, it's easy to see how crucial those warnings were. It's a painful reminder of how important it is to take threats seriously, no matter how young the individual might be. Following the shooting, the community of Winder was left shattered. Grieving parents, scared students, and teachers who had dedicated their lives to education were now grappling with the trauma and loss. The families of the 4 victims, 2 students and 2 teachers, have been left devastated by the senseless act. It's moments like these that remind us of the fragility of life and how something as simple as going to school can turn into a nightmare. The Barrow County Sheriff, Judd Smith, addressed the public shortly after the incident, saying, "Hate will not prevail in this community." He assured the families and community members that law enforcement would get to the bottom of how this happened. Authorities are now investigating how Colt obtained the AR-style weapon and how he managed to bring it into the school unnoticed. As of now, it's been confirmed that Colt Gray will be tried as an adult for murder, and he faces multiple life sentences. The investigation is still ongoing, with authorities combing through every detail, trying to understand the motive behind Colt's actions. Was it a desire for revenge? Was he influenced by external factors? We may never fully understand what drove him to commit such a heinous act. After the initial shock subsided, the community in Winder came together to mourn and support one another. Vigils were held, flowers and messages were left at the school gates, and mental health professionals were brought in to help students and staff process the trauma. While time may dull the immediate pain, the scars left by this tragic event will remain. The community's healing will take time, but one thing is clear: they are determined to rise above the darkness that has fallen over them. As we reflect on this tragedy, it's important to remember the lives lost and the families forever changed. It's also a reminder that we need to be vigilant, whether it's taking threats seriously, advocating for better security measures, or providing more mental health support to those in need. Thank you for watching this episode of Dark Files Diary. Our hearts go out to the families affected by this unimaginable tragedy. If you or anyone you know needs support, we encourage you to reach out to local resources or helplines. And remember, we'll continue to uncover these dark stories, not just to tell them, but to learn from them. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update from Dark Files Diary. Stay safe out there, everyone.